Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Kickboxing with Tim and the Mechanic. My name's Tim Wheaton, joined as always by the one and only, the Mechanic, Brandon Cuttino. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Ready for some kickboxing with you, man.
Absolutely. We had a glory event over the weekend, but before we get to the rundown, May 20th, tell us, how's the preparation for your fight upcoming, sir?
Say, man, things are good, man. Things are good. Like I said, we're like 19 days away over here. I'm excited, man. Less than 3 weeks over here. Like I said, just training with a couple of boys yesterday. Had some good sparring rounds in. Say, man, I'm feeling good, man. So, yes, I just can't wait till May 20th gets here.
Absolutely. May 20th, you're the main event, Gut Check Promotions, and you can watch it on, you can get tickets from Brandon himself, or you can watch it on, sorry, my glasses aren't on. Right. I believe it's fcltv.com. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. fcltv.com.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Awesome. All right. So let's get into the weekend. We had a Glory 85 over the weekend. We had some fight announcements. Well, there's a little bit of one championship and some other stuff that we'll talk about, but let's jump into Glory 85. They had their heavyweight tournament to crown who would be the next to face Antonio Plazabot for the interim title. And leading up to it, there was a little bit of breaking news. Luis Tavares was forced to drop out of the tournament for undisclosed reasons, which is funny. It's almost like you and I had a feeling of like, this is somehow going to be Tariq's tournament or something like that. And it worked out for him. So Kevin Cookie Tariq Osaro walked away with victory, earning a few knockouts along the way. What were your impressions of his two fights that evening and the Luis Tavares dropping out from the fight?
Yeah, bummed to hear about, Tavares. Like I said, I believe they said that it was due to illness. So, hopefully, okay. Everything's all right with him. But yeah, man, like I said, once Tavares was out, then I was like, all right, this is Cookie's tournament to win, and it played out that way because, like I said, we both had him in the final, yeah, but we both had him going up against Tavares, and I want to say we both had Tavares winning it, but since Tavares wasn't there, so that means then we would have Cookie winning it, and that's what happened. Like I said, he had a tough fight with the Wilness, which we kind of knew would be because Wilness, does have that experience. And then, but then again, though, he was able to get the finish. Man, like sometimes I forget, like, because I think even Todd Grisham even said it when Wilness was getting blasted, and he was like, and he was kind of like, oh, why, this ref should give Wilness a standing 8 count. But then I realized, I'm like, well, that's because there aren't standing 8 counts in Glory. They don't just step in and give you a standing 8 count. Like, you got to be dropped.
But officiating was really weird this night, though. Like you just said one rule, and then we have another fight where that is apparently not the rule, and we'll get to officiating in a bit. But yeah, no, go on. He fought Murat Agun in the final. Murat was doing well as well. He was faster than he's a quick guy. Very good win from Cookie on this one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, his opponent came in on based like a week's notice, like knowing he was going to be in the tournament. He did his job in the first fight. He was over done with in the first round, and so he came in nice and fresh. That's why I want to say I think this fight did go a little bit further. Instead of being in the first round, second round, stuff like that. So you kind of started to see kind of Cookie's energy kind of drop a little bit. You kind of get like, hey, heavyweights, people can get tired, but hey man, he pulled through and he got the stoppage as well.
Absolutely. And it was an awesome night for him. Really put his stamp on it, put his name on it. Like, it's good that we had a tournament that didn't just lead to decisions. We had exciting fights. We had exciting knockouts. We had highlight reel finishes. I think it was a really good night for Glory Kickboxing and a really good night for Cookie. Now he will be fighting at Glory Collision 5, which is coming up in June 17th. And he's going to be fighting the interim title against Antonio Plazabot. Man, it's just going to be action, isn't it? That's a banger right there.
Yeah, hey man, they're both teammates. They train with each other. They know they know how each other gets down. Plazabot was funny on commentary as usual. Even when he got in the ring, he was funny. They were being cool with it. Then of course they asked Big Mike about it. Mike said, hey, we have to sit down and talk. You'll see how they want to do training and everything. But hey man, Plazabot is basically saying, this fight's gonna be over in the first round, and I can see that happening. Like I said, we don't know really what's going on in these rounds and stuff like that. But hey, man, dude, if I'm Cookie, I might say, hey, you know what? Big Mike, you can take Plazabot. I'm going to go hang with Ernesto Hoost for this one,
It helped him in this one, right? Absolutely. He did a little bit of training with him, won the tournament. Absolutely. Yeah, I do agree with you. I mean, Cookie won the evening and he still got hit quite a few times. And at heavyweight, those can be quite costly, especially someone like Plazabot. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna hype it up. We're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be a fun one in the end. But let's talk about the was there 4 knockdowns in one round at one point? What was going on with that? Because like the commentators were like, "Oh, it's over." There was 3 knockdowns.
Right, yes. Okay, so it was so what I want to say is that this is how it is, right? So yes, in tournament rules, it's a little bit different than a regular fight. In a regular fight, you do 3 knockdowns in a round or 4 knockdowns total, fight is over.
Yeah.
While I believe in the tournament, all you need is 2 knockdowns in a round and 3. So what I want to say is, I mean, hey, I could be wrong. I'm not a rules expert, but I want to say it was because I believe since it was the finals, then it kind of comes back to being a regular type of match rule. So that's why it was, the 4 rules or 3 or 3 in one round, then the fight is over. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a rules expert, but that's what I want to say is because it was the final. There's no other fight going on because that's the reason why they do that is to kind of preserve the fighter's energy for their next fight. But since this was the final, it's like, hey, forget all that. Let's just go all out.
Fine. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I think that's fine. If those are the rules, that's fine. But what I will say is maybe these rules need to be communicated to the commentators because the commentators didn't know what the rules were. Like, whatever the rules are, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, communicate that. Because I spend all my time looking at this stuff and I'm not entirely sure, but Todd Grisham should know. Between Todd Grisham and Joseph Valtellini, one of these people should know, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, everybody's different, on what they focus on, what their preparation is, I mean, hey, they always go over the glory rules and everything like that. Like, I mean, they were doing it the whole night and everything like that, saying what everything is. But like I said, I just want to say, I think it's because it was the final. Like I said, it was another tournament fight, like because you saw it earlier in the first one. I think, where the guy went down in two rounds, two knockdowns. And he got up. The ref waved it off, and it was the same ref. It was the same ref who was in the final. So to me, I mean, this to me, ever since Glory had made this change with, I guess it was his Vaz is the sanction.
Yeah, it used to be now it's somebody else. Yes,
this guy to me is the best ref that they had. I mean, hey, that could not be saying much. I don't know. I know some people like to hate on the refs, but to me, I feel like he is a good ref. I've never really had watching him ref and everything. I've never seen anything bad. So I kind of want to say that he probably is the main guy, So I mean, I think he would know the rules best.
Absolutely. Reffing is an extremely challenging thing to do, but I think they should do like American football every once in a while where they get the referee on camera to be like, hey, what was that decision for? Just, talk us through it a little bit here. Because between us, we should the rules shouldn't be so hard. Anyway, I do think you're right though, of like tournament versus tournament final kind of thing, or even title fights that might different rules. And speaking of title fights, we had a welterweight showdown. Andy Semler was able to dominantly defend his title over a 5-round decision against Murtel Groenhart, the former title holder, former title challenger. Tell us, what were your impressions? Andy Semler certainly had an impressive performance.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was basically complete domination, man. I think he won all the rounds. I mean, I think I had said that Andy would stop him. It almost happened and do it to me, man. In that 5th round, when Murtaugh went down, I didn't think he was getting up. I was like, he's
he was on his back, right? He was like this,
freaking snow angel over here. I was like, but then boom, he got up and I mean, he finished the fight. I think it was a pride thing, for him, But I mean, hey man, kudos to him. Like say, he hasn't kickboxed in a while. Say he went over to MMA, then boom, he comes back and he gets a title shot right off the bat. Hey man, and like saying, Indy's on the rise, but like say, man, dude, it was similar all day, man. I mean, he took his time, was patient, rush anything, and I mean, just hey man, we'll have to see what is next for Murtaugh, but I mean, similar, man, just look beautiful. That's it.
sharper, faster. There's the inside punches, the timing, everything about it. This was a masterclass performance from him. Now, the welterweight division in Glory is looking quite good. There's a lot of people bubbling to the top. And Alim Nabiev is still out floating in the abyss. You have people like Jay Overmeer, who's certainly earned it at this point. How do you fix up this title picture, Brandon?
I mean, me personally, I thought Nabiev should have been here instead of Grunhart. So that's why I still want to give it to Nabiev. I think he should be next. And then Overmeer will get the winner of that. And then Hamcha, who makes his comeback, at the next Glory show, he gets a W, then he should be next. But I mean, from what I hear too, people are kind of leaning it the other way around, where they think Overmeer will get the next shot, and then Nabiev will get the winner of Overmeer and similar. So I mean, we'll see. But to me, I just feel like Nabiev should got that rematch, because I don't know. I think personally too. I thought Nabiev won as well, but I'm not a judge.
I mean, it was a contentious. It was a highly contentious decision, and I'm a bit surprised that they didn't immediately rebook the rematch. But whatever, that's fine. So yeah, Nabiev or Jay Overmeer, both fair options. I do like the Nabiev option quite a bit. I think it's a good one. Muhammad Amine versus Michael Dute. What were your impressions? What were your thoughts on this one? You had Amine walking away with a nice victory there.
Yeah, man, dude. It's like I told you, man. Michael Dute. We don't know which dude is showing up. And it was the one that we didn't want, because this guy straight up housed Michael Dute. Like, dude had nothing. He lost all 3 rounds, which I don't know what Michael Dute was doing when they were doing when Tim Hughes was was reading the cards. The man was raising his hand. It's like, bro, you lost this fight. What are you doing? But yeah, I mean, here's somebody. I mean, here's some new blood at light heavyweight. Which is good. Said my man looked sharp. Like I said, I know he was kind of talking some nonsense. Kind of saying like, hey, I'm an MMA fighter. But I always said that I guess he could be the kickboxer and stuff like that. And here it is. He beat somebody who's like top 10 over here easily. So I mean, hey man, we shall see what's next for him.
Absolutely. And how about Jan Kaffa versus Berjan Paposhi? This was such a good fight. This was amazing. This was almost to the fight of the year contender shortlist. Got a little weird in the fight, didn't it? Okay, tell us, like, it's a weird thing to describe.
Yeah, so this was probably going to be like probably people's choice of fight of the night over here. You got these 2 guys, man. I mean, it was straight was like I mean, they even said on the commentary like this was Dynamite meeting Dynamite. Yes. That's really what was going on. And like I said, I didn't pick Kaffa to get the win. I had Hiroshi. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah, Berjan Paposhi.
Paposhi, right? I thought Paposhi would win since he was ranked. What happened with him was that weird knockdown, which was a groin strike, and the ref told him. I think what happened was he panicked off of that, and then that made him get a little reckless, and that's when he ran into other shots, and that's when he got dropped again. And then again, he's down again now. So then he gets more reckless, more than that, and he's just getting lit up. He's getting beat to the punch, because he needed to finish the win. And I think this Kaffa was just too good. He knew that he was in control. He knew he had the fight win. He just had to be smart. But I mean, hey man, good fight. All in all, man, both fighters still went out, did their thing. We had just the ref. I mean, I remember this ref. And once I saw who it was, I was like, oh yeah, I remember her last time. She kind of had some controversy before in a Glory fight as well.
Yeah, I feel like this is if you can file for like getting something overturned or something like that due to officiating, this might be a good time to use that, because it was very clearly a groin strike 3 times in a row, and then the person who got their groin kicked in got a standing 8 count. Like this was, we all thought it was going to be a warning for the kicker.
Yeah, like he was going to get a point taken away because it was like over and over. Like that's what Top Christian said. It was like, oh, like we all thought, even Roshi thought like, oh, he's going to get a point taken away. Instead, it's like, no, you're getting counted. And that's why he was like, what? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I think that just completely changes the tone, the way everyone was thinking about the fight. And then the scorecards were also all over the place. I mean, one of them was 10-8, and then the other one was 9-10. Like, well, it was just like, this is one of the weirdest, like everything that is that can go wrong is going wrong in this fight. And it just kept going from there. The referee was reminded by someone at one point to like, hey, this guy's kicked him in the groin 4 times now. You actually have to go warn him. Like, she had to be reminded. It was a super weird thing, and like I think it colored the fight too much because it was a great fight, but I think that that is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of did overshadow the fight a little bit, but I mean, overall, like I said, it still was a good fight, but it just kind of stuck, kind of stinks.
No doubt about it. Nikola Filipovic and Bryce Kampu each able to get victories. Any thoughts on Glory 85 before we move forward to some big stuff?
No, man. I mean, overall, like I said, I think it was another good event. It was good to have the tournaments back. I know a lot of people usually hate on the 4-man tournament. Like I didn't. I
love it. I love it. I think
when they were doing them. But now we have our first entries in the Grand Prix for December, which is Cookie, and also too he gets an interim title shot. So I mean, it's a double win for him. And plus too, he's getting more exposure.
Well deserved. I mean, he's extremely talented and deserves all of it. He's a really exciting fighter. Let's move forward to some announcements. We have some fight announcements, but we also have some monumental, some fight game changing announcements here. Tenshin Nasukawa, the K1 superstar, the 3-time Grand Prix winner, the 3-division world champion, has signed with one championship.
No, wait, you mean Takeru?
Oh man, that is right. Yes, Takeru Segawa. Pardon me. Takeru Segawa has signed with one championship. The absolute kickboxing superstar, the kickboxing phenom. He's not quite like it was. He was kind of a free agent, still working with Abima, had a fight with MTGP, which is still upcoming here. Now the announcement has come out that he has signed with one championship. He has fought all over the place from 55 kilograms, 57 kilograms, 60 kilograms, up to 65 kilograms in some of his fights, which is about 135 to 140 pounds. So where he's going to fight, we're not entirely sure, but that's what we know so far. Brandon, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of, I want to say this was the promotion that we kind of all thought he was going to lean at because you watch the videos of him training before, like he was training in Thailand, he was training with MMA gloves, so we kind of thought, hey, this might be the thing that he's trying to do. He's trying to get into some Muay Thai fights, He was
in Boxing Works in LA with like Janet Todd and stuff like that. Yep. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So I think he was just trying to get a feel for it, And yeah, like I said, I'm sure one was probably throwing some buku bucks at him as well. So I mean, this is it. And then you already see that. I think Rodtang's already calling him out. I think
Superlek called him out too. Yeah,
Superlek too. I think Rodtang was trying to get him to fight this coming week over here. He was because I think he said like, oh, I called, he answered May 6th or May 5th. I'm like, I don't think that's happening, buddy, but okay.
Well, and I would love to see it. He is officially announced, Shatri Sityotong, the one CEO and chairman had announced it, and then there wasn't much after that. So we still don't know any of the details. It was said to be an exclusive deal, but knowing what Takeru's deal looks like with Abima, that seems unlikely. Because he does work with Abima, and One Championship has their own deal with a TV company in Japan. So this is going to be an interesting thing to see what the actual details look like, how many fights, what it's going to look like. Apparently, he's still going ahead with the MTGP fight. Like we haven't heard anything that the Bailey Sugden fight has been canceled. So is he a free agent? Is he exclusively signed? We don't know any of these details at this point. But I will tell you that from the One Championship side, there was no mention of this on their Twitter or Instagram or on the broadcast on Friday or on their Japanese accounts. So things were, I'm not sure if they were, like One Championship seemed as surprised as everyone else was by this announcement, right? There's so much we don't know. People want us to talk about it, but like we don't know anything at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, you want to know kind of what are the details because, like I said, you believe that he's getting paid by Abima. So is one really going to be paying him or what? Like what's going to be working on with that? But maybe one of the things was like, it could be maybe one of those things where like it's in principle that he's gonna sign with one, but it's gonna be after the Bailey Sugden fight, because then that's when he is he is exclusively with them. Or it could be one of the things where it's like, yeah, you know what, he did sign with them, but it doesn't really go into effect until after his fight with Bailey Sugden.
And that could be. We don't know. And on Takeru's Twitter as well, and Instagram, he hasn't announced anything officially. There was a call out from Super Luck and Rodtang, and Takeru liked it. And that's about as much official word as we got from anyone who's not Chandri. So it's an interesting situation. And when details come out, we'll be right on top of it. And that's going to be a really fun one. But let's look at some other fight announcements that we have upcoming, because there was entire events announced that we didn't even touch on. Petch, the professor, will be defending his featherweight Glory kickboxing title against Ahmed Sheikh Musa. Benjamin Adegbuyi will be fighting Sofiane Ladouni at heavyweight, and Hamicha is back. This one is going to be a middleweight fight, but we will see what that looks like in the future. And he's going to be fighting a Glory debutant, Sofiane Janin. Enrico Kell, the German signee from One Championship, will be fighting Garrick Belay in the lightweight division. Sarah Musadak is back. Chico Quasi is back against Robin Kirik. It's just up and down. Glory 86. This one's coming up on May 27th. It looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, no, it does. Like I said, I mean, it's good. It's good to see that the that Petch is fighting again. And I'm glad that he has a challenger and everything like that. So that's good. And me, man, I'm a big Adegbuyi fan. So I believe there's another fight for the winner will be in the tournament come December. So we get to see another name, hopefully, being added like that. And then it's just good. It's good to see Hamcha back. We've been waiting for this guy for like over a year. He's finally, I guess, over his injury, and let's see what he looks like.
Absolutely looking forward to it. And I'm curious, like what he'll do in the future if he's going to fight at his old home of welterweight, where he has been and still is the number one ranked guy, or if he's going to continue at middleweight. I get the feeling he's going to do one fight at middleweight just to warm up and then go back to welterweight, right?
I mean, I'm thinking, hey man, it could have been like dude was out for a while. He could have been eating good,
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, you know what? Let me just take a fight at middleweight real quick.
I do know. Also, Glory Collision 5 is still cooking up, coming up on June 17th. Donovan Vise has been confirmed to be defending his middleweight title against Serkan Ozkaglayan. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, this is the fight that everybody wanted, and we're finally going to get it. So this is good. We'll see what happens. Like say, Donovan Vise has been looking on a tear ever since he won the belt. And saying, and Serkan, ever since he came into Glory, he's been on there. I guess he's been one of the people, that they have definitely been pushing. So, he's getting his title shot now, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, Glory really does quite like Serkan, and they've anointed him as one of their golden boys, and it's good stuff. What other fight announcements did I miss? I know there was probably a lot more that we've missed, but do you remember any other ones that we need to mention?
Yeah. Of course, coming up in June as well. You got the whole what is it? Super Bond fighting.
My god! Yeah, let me bring everything up here.
Yeah, Super Bond versus Typhoon Oskin, I believe is a fight that's been announced, and also on that same card, I think we're supposed to get Marat Gregorian versus Chingy Alazar for the title. So I think they're trying to have those two fights, on that card because probably most likely maybe the winner of each fight will probably face each other next.
Oh, just cooking up, man! That One Championship division is just unreal. How good it is! That's such a good division. The featherweight kickboxing division in One Championship is maybe the best worldwide.
And then. Yeah. And then also too, coming up in May as well for Rise 168, we're getting the rematch. I want to say of the rematch again. You're getting Kobayashi versus Tessa. Was it?
That's a Decom.
Yeah. So isn't this their third time fighting? Right?
I think it's their second or something like that. I'm not entirely sure exactly, but they've definitely fought before, and it was exciting and it was a lot of fun. Now we're getting it again. It's gonna be a banger. That's a good one right there.
So just a lot of good fight announcements, that they've been making. I mean, I just kind of really want to talk about Glory, of course, 85, just Petch being back in is always good. But then also too, I mean, just what one's doing with their division, with those two fights right there, man, like those are some bangers right there. And then of course, Rise just putting this rematch going on over here. So we'll see what happens.
Man, honestly, I do wish that there was more crossover between the big four promotions in kickboxing, but having like four big promotions in kickboxing competing with each other, man, we get some good stuff sometimes. It's just lovely. But yeah, it's just awesome stuff. One championship is this weekend. Not a ton for us to really talk about. I mean, there is a flyweight Muay Thai championship. Rodtang is defending his title against Edgar Tabarez. I don't know. I think because this is like their debut in the US, Cinco de Mayo, like you said, one fight night 10 on Prime Video. I think if he doesn't make weight, they'll probably just let him fight anyway. I can't see them like withholding that. Like it's one of their big money makers. But yeah, is he going to make weight? You know as much as I do about it.
Damn, man, this is the flyweight one, so we'll see. I don't know. I feel like he wants to move up in weight, so might as well, man. Just drop this belt and just move up.
But yeah, one championship paired him up with Edgar Tabarez. Edgar's fine. The only other kick fight on it, Jackie Bunton and Deandra Martin will be fighting in a strawweight Muay Thai fight. Great fight. When I see it as a great fight, I will tell you that it's a great fight. I will never say what's a bad fight, but I'll tell you what's a good fight. This is a great fight, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, it's good to see Jackie Bunton back in there. Hopefully, she, like I said, she's on the road back to getting another title shot.
Absolutely. That is looking good for this weekend. We got your fight. I'm also going to do a quick RWS Rajamanern Muay Thai is starting this month with their super welterweight 3 million baht tournament kicks off. It's an 8-man tournament featuring people like Daniel Rodriguez, who's their champion, the lower weight champion, who's Shadow, Pech Morakot, who used to be the champion in one championship, and 5 other fellows. 3 million baht, I think it's like $100,000 but it's kicking off this month in May. So keep an eye out for RWS Muay Thai. That's going to be some very good stuff. And then we have some fan questions, or am I missing anything else?
Nah, I mean, just I know that K1 announced their big what is it? Their big international, I guess, show that's going to happen in July. I think my girl Kana is going to be on it and everything like that. Like that's where I think it's basically like it's K1 versus like international fighters only type thing. It looks like.
Right. Yeah. I remember we talked about a little bit about that last week. Let me see if I can bring it up. I can't find anything. Oh well. But yeah, K1 also had a series of announcements. Let me see if I can quickly find it.
Yeah, it's K1 World Grand Prix Yomaha. No, wait, no, never mind. That's the wrong thing.
I know.
The wrong one. I should just go to Kana and then she would tell me everything.
That's what I'm trying to think. I'll just shoot her a message quick. Well, while you're doing that.
But that really is all the only thing I just remember coming up. I mean, like say for fight announcements, but I mean, hey man, we shall see what happens. Same. I mean, we already got K1 announcing shows. Going into July. I mean, Glory is stopping. Glory and One are both kind of stopping in June, like announcing like they haven't said anything after that. So we still got. I mean, besides Glory after Collision, the only thing we know that's happening for them is going to be the Grand Prix in December, but we don't know where they're going to be at come come July, August, September, October, and so on. But hopefully, maybe they'll start cranking that up for us.
I agree with you. Hopefully, some more announcements incoming the next little while, and we will get more details on the K1 upcoming events as well. Just having a little bit of trouble with their, website stuff like that. But yeah, lots of good stuff upcoming.
No?
Sorry, say that again.
I said it's that Japanese to English, Got to translate.
It's not accurate. And so, yeah, we'll get some more details on K1. Awesome stuff. Let's get to some fan questions here. And everyone knows what it's about. The biggest names in the sport. How far do you think Tenshin Nasukawa will be able to go in boxing? What are your thoughts here, Brendan?
Yeah, it really all depends on the matchups as usual, but I think what it is like, you kind of see what like, in a way, the monster, has done. So probably people think that Tenshin could maybe have that same success. But to me, man, they're different fighters. I think Tenshin does have the speed to hang with people. The only thing is, though, I'm not sure. Again, man, we're not kicking, so I'm not sure really if we have the power. The depending on the weight class that he's fighting at, and plus two, like say, I mean, over in Japan you can probably get some dubs, but how can he be if he starts going across seas, coming to America, fighting some Americans and everything like that? Like say, we're gonna have a big one with Monster because he's gonna have a bout unification with Steve. I want to say Steve Fulton. So that's gonna be a banger. In a way, but I don't know, man. I think Tenshin can do some damage. I think he probably win a world title. I'm just not sure at what weight he's fighting at. I'm not sure if it's 118 or if he's fighting at 122.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either what the details of that would be. He just got a win over I believe in Japan, it was a top 10 ranked opponent, and worldwide that person I believe was top 25, depending on what lists you're looking at. Either way, essentially it is very hard to transition to other sports. It's a very rare thing to do. And I think boxing, if you're transitioning from MMA or kickboxing into boxing, I think that is the hardest direction to go, just because of how highly specialized boxing is. Now, Tenshin does have a ton of things going in his favor, in that he's naturally extremely athletic. He's still extremely young. He already has a great base as well. He's not like an older Maurice Smith just trying to do it all, but he's like a little bit too old to do any of it. You know what I mean? Or like there's a few other examples of people who tried these same things, but there's a lot going in his favor. And his win over the top 10 ranked opponent in Japan, he looked really good. He looked very sound. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked faster than him. So how high? I'm always going to be a little bit biased because, he's the kickboxing boy. He's our guy. He's our kid. Like, I want him to be a world champion worldwide. How high do I think he can go? I think if he fights for one of the titles in Japan, that would be a major deal. That would be a huge thing, and I think it'd be a massive success for him. But I'm not really delusional about this. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm with you. Like I go by. I don't remember what weight class he's fighting at, because to me, I want to say if he's fighting at 118, if he's able to get that low, I can see him getting a belt. But 122, killers are at 122, and I'm just not sure if he's there yet. Now I say that's yet. Say he gets some time to grow and everything like that, but I'm just saying as of right now, if it's 122, man, I don't know yet. I don't know yet about 122 for him.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and yeah, it's a good division. It's going to be a ton of fun to see where it goes in the future. Like it's crazy to think that he's already had all this incredible worldly success, worldwide fame. People like Ryan Garcia has mentioned him. He's 24 years old. Like he could develop for 5 more years, and then we'll just see what's going on with him, right? Like I can only see him getting better at this point. And so there's a lot of good that can come from it. But realistically, I'm always going to say like boxing is one of the hardest to transition into, just how highly specialized it is. And, tell me I'm wrong in the comments. That's fine.
Yeah. The sweet science,
It's tough. It's tough. Let's move forward to, do you believe Takeru will become a champion in one championship? Brandon, your thoughts. What do you think?
Man, I want to say yes, of course, easily. But then again, it's like, well, what is he going to do? Is he going to be a kickboxer? Is he going to be like, is he going to be like my guy, Nicholas Larson, and be like, oh, hey, you know what? I want to do Muay Thai fights, and maybe where Muay Thai maybe isn't his thing, isn't best suited for his skills, and then, but he doesn't do kickboxing. Where I think in kickboxing, he could get a title, no problem. But then again, though, but I mean, Super Leg called him out, and I know Super Leg is doing Muay Thai, so. I mean,
this is some of the complaints, and I do like One Championship, and I really appreciate One Championship being supportive of fighters and kickboxing worldwide and Muay Thai and stuff like that. But we do want fights that feel like they have a lot of stakes, and if you have, like if he fights Rodtang in kickboxing, you just feel like, oh, well, he beat a guy who maybe wasn't in his own sport. Rodtang is better in Muay Thai. And it was the same thing with Rodtang when he fought Tenshin like 5 years ago. He was like, yeah, well, Tenshin won. He's the kickboxer. In Muay Thai, that fight would have had a different answer. And same with Super Leg. He's based a Muay Thai fighter. He's fought kickboxing twice in his career. Just happens to be holding the gold. So can he become a champion in One Championship? Yeah, I actually do think so. I don't think that would be a huge hurdle for him to overcome. I think it's a matter of making these fights feel like it really is a big moment in the sport, because it should feel like a watershed moment. It should feel like a massive moment. But yeah, absolutely. I think he can collect that title, no problem, honestly.
Man, I mean, he could be like Regan Ursel, man, and he have a belt in both Muay Thai and kickboxing.
But why not? Like, that sounds awesome to me. If you're going to do that kind of stuff, absolutely. But I don't want these fights to have no stakes. And what I mean by that is one championship sometimes does stuff really cool and really good, but they manage to make fights sometimes that don't have stakes. Like, for example, one of them was a lower stakes one was the last Stamp Fairtex versus Supergirl. They're both Muay Thai strikers, and they put it in kickboxing. Just so, like, if they lose, whoever loses doesn't really lose their rank, right? Or like a Demetrius Johnson versus Rod Tang, it's mixed rules. So no matter who loses, you don't lose the ranks. Like, if you have like an MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, mixed rules bout with Takeru, come on. Yeah. Just make it one. Just make it one or the other. We want real stakes in our fighting. We really want to feel these moments and like tell people about how exciting this moment is. You know what I mean? The loser, there is massive stakes on the line for the winner and the loser is what I want, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want when you're watching. You know, you want to be entertained. You want there to be some. I mean, there's always nothing wrong with just watching two great martial artists go out there and put on the show as well. But I mean, in that sports fan in you, you want some stakes in there. I get you.
I mean, that maybe that's just me. And again, people tell me in the comments that I'm wrong. That is absolutely okay. So we covered off some glory, tons of one championship, a little bit of rise. We got Takeru news, all this good stuff. Brandon, what else do we need to cover off before we head out of here?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of one, I know it's not a Muay Thai fight or a kickboxing fight, but hey, Stan Fairtex is fighting this Friday for one championship as well. I mean, it's an MMA fight, but hey, you still always got to show love to our Muay Thai and kickboxing fighters.
Yeah, she's been in Denver for like a month now. Like she's made sure to acclimatize, where some of these people are arriving today. Like 4 days out.
Probably like Rod Tang.
I think Rod Tang will. I think it's Monday, and I think he's actually on the flight, like as we're talking right now, because I saw one of the SCMP guys updating it. But yeah, so that's pretty late. But I think Rod Tang is just like, I'm fighting for 5 minutes. This guy's not making it to the bell.
That's it.
But yeah, Stamp is very clearly very committed to MMA, climatizing, all that stuff. But yeah, Stamp Fairtex, just certainly kick adjacent and a fan favorite, one of our favorites. Absolutely. Check out the merch down below as well.
And then First Shop, man. That's the only place to go get it, man. And also, remember, guys, make sure you like, subscribe. Remember, please keep hitting that like button because it helps us with the algorithm. That way, when you look for your kickboxing, we're the ones showing up. People are tuning in, and again, that's when we can just keep spreading this awesome kickboxing community.
That's right. And when are we back? Do you want next week? Do you want 2 weeks? What do you want?
Oh yeah, we're back in 2 weeks because then, man,
the 15th.
Yes, the 15th.
I'm into it. Hey, awesome stuff, Brandon. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
All right, man. Have a good one.